While the world was focusing on actually the solutions in terms of how to get the products to the consumer faster, there was very little focus on in terms of like what would happen to these products after they've been consumed.
So the problem which Recycle is trying to solve impacts everyone. Each creature which is staying in the planet is been impacted because of this problem of waste and resources which are not utilized by the people in the right way. So Recycle is trying to change the behavior of the customer towards the waste, and they should not treat waste as a waste. They are trying to bring that waste is a value. It's a resource which can be used again.
The waste is getting collected either through our door-to-door collection ecosystem in the urban like areas, but in majority other places it doesn't get collected. So there are waste collectors who are collecting all this waste, primarily the recyclable waste, and they get it, they accumulate this and collect it, bring it to a kabadiwala. From kabadiwala, actually they do coarse segregation between plastics, metals, and other cartons and other paper and other categories of waste. From there it goes from trader to a processor and finally to a recycler. So getting the waste on time, getting those products on time has become the biggest problem per se. So getting the product on time, like the quality at which they come with and the compliance risk involved in this has been a problem for the recyclers per se. So we solve these problems. We started actually solving these problems with our marketplace. So marketplace becomes the bridge between the informal, the supply, and the formal demand per se, recyclers. So recyclers can come and see in terms of how much supply is available. The sellers can see in terms of the waste processors can see how much is the demand without knowing a specific party per se. They can see, and they can actually, we have our prediction AI price prediction engines and other things to figure out in terms of what is the best waste for the quality of the waste, material which is being produced by the sellers. So that's the connect which we create between the recyclers and the informal ecosystem. We have actually innovated further on the business models in terms of how different models work, like plastic credits or EPR ecosystem, which we have built, and other things. Apart from that, actually, we have built tech models with, we have built AI models to identify different categories of waste. So if you think about waste per se, there's very less data or information which is available in this ecosystem. Every sample set which you take is different. So identifying in terms of how, what categories of waste come, like in a sense, and how well it is segregated, whether it is contaminated or not, is the first problem to be solved. So we built a solution called Smart Scan. So we built computer vision models to identify the waste which is coming from each household and what is the quality of their segregation, dry waste segregation per se.
The world has a limited resources, we all know, and pandemic has taught us a big lesson that the environment, the climate is the biggest one, and we all are very small in front of it. So if we don't take care of the planet, if we don't take care of the resources properly, then the resources are going to finish somewhere. The next generation will not have the resources. So the Recycle is trying to bring that behavioral change amongst the consumers, each one on the planet, and change his behavior towards the waste and make him more responsible, and he should use the resources properly.
So, coming to the AI based engines for operations, it's largely recommendation engines in terms of like actually recommendation and prediction engines per se. So we predict when would the supply be available, the next supply be available from the seller, based on the pace at which they're collecting and they're growing. We predict what is the price which in the market today and how it's going to trend over the next few days. So that enables us to provide the confidence to our sellers that actually you need to collect and sell under different scenarios. We also have models which predict in terms of like what would be the logistic cost which would be there in a particular route if we were to actually move the material from a particular seller to a particular buyer, then what would be the predicted logistic cost. We also predict in terms of what is the price at which a buyer is going to buy, kind of. So all these things we put together, different models we put together to smoothen the process to bring a predictable income to our sellers and to source the material for the buyers per se. So our plastic credits tool like actually enables that process. So we have different mechanisms like of collecting this waste. One of the ways is like one of the sources is like through our DRS mode, like our vending machines from where the material is actually coming from. So that is like a traceable material which is being collected back. So deposit refund system is actually a simple mechanism which drives the change in the consumer behavior per se. Every container would be having a deposit on the container which the consumer pays as an additional value to the product when they purchase. And when they give this material back, like the product back, like if you bought a bottle of water and you paid a few rupees extra for the container, like a deposit on the container, and when you give back the bottle you get the deposit back.
Few credits added to your mobile number.
Apart from that, we are also working on reverse vending machines, which enable that it doesn't require a person to be there. So wherever the vending machine is there, we drop a bottle in that based on the QR being identified and the material being identified along with the QR. The deposit is transferred to the consumer account. So we had actually piloted this product in Kedarnath last year. We have come up with a encrypted QR code mechanism which each bottle is going to carry. So every bottle would be having that, and that will be the basis for us to determine in terms of what is the deposit which goes into it. So this has helped actually large scale collection of waste and keep the Kedarnath clean per se. And for this initiative actually we have won Digital India Award this year. It's a presidential award which we won this year. And apart from that, we use several other tools to ensure that there is an end-to-end traceability in terms of how the waste is getting collected, where it is getting collected, where is it moving for storage and processing, and where is it going for recycling. So we present these tools with complete traceability, so that any brand coming to us, where we are offering these solutions, they can trace back each ton of waste in terms of how it has been collected and where it has moved from where to where and other things. So we have introduced this product called Rethink Plus for schools, which enables actually students to do the same, like take a test in terms of how aware they are, and watch through some of the main intriguing content in terms of what sustainability really means, so that they can actually improve their sustainability skills per se. One of the other ways is actually we are providing formal channels for collection. So we have created formal ecosystem for collection through IOCL. We have recently introduced the collection mechanisms, where it is like actually you can bring different types of waste, categories of household waste, which you can deposit there and get good discounts on the fuel which you're purchasing from the petrol bunks. So that's one of the major initiatives.
What Recykal does day in, day out is really trying to create a green world, right? Recykal is trying to work with various stakeholders, like everyone in the waste ecosystem, from the rat picker to a brand like Unilever, Pepsi, to a rat picker, all of works with us. We're trying to build an ecosystem through which we can really make this world more greener. The waste which is going to a landfill or ocean can be diverted to a right place and can be utilized again. And through that, we will be creating that green revolution and make the world a better place to stay.